Hey guys, and happy Friday! I know this is different from my usual videos, but I thought maybe I should vlog and talk about like how my pregnancy's been, how we found out we were pregnant, and kind of like everything that's like been going on so far. I'm an emotional wreck. Let's just start with that. Like, pregnancy sucks. Pregnancy is hard, and they only tell you the nice things about it, and it's a lot. So if I get emotional, don't mind me, I'm just a hormonal beach. But so for those of you that don't know, I am 29 weeks pregnant, due April 20th, and we never expected this would happen. So in July or August, I can't remember which one it is now, I was starting to feel really bad cramps, and I've had endometriosis before and I've had surgery for it, so I was thinking that my endometriosis was coming back because my pains used to be so bad that I would literally have to call someone to pick me up. Like, I'd be like throwing up, getting cold sweats and things like that, and that is what I was feeling. So I went to the doctor thinking I have endometriosis again, I have some cysts, it's really bad. Come to find out, surprise, not endometriosis. So when I went to the doctor, we did like urine tests and things like that, and we weren't even planning on doing a pregnancy test because my endometriosis was so bad in the past that one of my tubes is completely like clogged up, and the other ones had really a lot of scar tissue, so they didn't even know if I ovulated every month. So the only reason we even did a pee test is because I kind of like suggested it since we already had the pee, and then surprise, I was pregnant. So I went from thinking I had endometriosis to being pregnant to having to get scheduled an emergency ultrasound because the pains I was having were so bad that they thought maybe it was atopic. And if that was the case, then I'd be having an emergency surgery that day. So it was like a whirlwind, and I was by myself because I thought this was just my endometriosis, normal, you know, whatever, maybe have another surgery, worst case. So I went and got my emergency ultrasound, and it was crazy because I remember walking in there, they literally had like this big red slip on top of my paperwork that said urgent, and I'm like, oh my freaking God. But luckily, when I went in, everything was normal. I did have a cyst, so I was technically correct. But I guess it was a good cyst because sometimes you'll get like cysts when you're pregnant, like for nutrients. So yeah, so I literally found out like 2 days before I would have gotten my period. So like 4.5 weeks, we found out we were pregnant. And I just remember like crying so bad, like, oh my God, Liam's gonna kill me. Because we never expected this. We talked about not having kids, and it was just a lot because I was starting to go through all these emotions, and then I'm like, shit, I'm pregnant. Oh my God. So I remember coming home that day, and I go upstairs and Liam's in the bathroom going to burp too. And I'm just like sitting there waiting for him to be out the bathroom. Like, he's like, what's up? I'm like, I'll wait until you're done. He's like, okay. And I'm like sitting there, and it literally like the 5 minutes felt like forever. So he comes out and he sits in a chair, and I just jump on his lap and start hysterically crying. He's like, what's wrong? Because, he's thinking, okay, she is going to need surgery or something like that. And I just start crying, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. He's like, and then he starts laughing because like obviously it's something we never thought of. And he wasn't like, he wouldn't believe me. He's like, this is a prank. Where are the cameras? Like, oh my gosh. So I went down and got the little pee stick and everything and showed him, and it was a lot. I remember he like didn't want to like talk about it. Neither did I, because we were both just kind of in shock. He laid on the floor in the living room and just went to sleep, and this was like 3 p.m. So the next day we wake up. I try to not bring it up. I'm like, well, maybe he just needs like time to digest it. And then he starts talking about it, and he's like, we're pregnant? I'm like, yeah, we're pregnant. So we both kind of went through this phase of like disbelief, like our lives are completely changing. I even remember finding him in the shower, like crying on the floor, just like, because it's a lot to take in, especially when you think you can't get pregnant. So I took him to the doctor to kind of just like discuss everything. And he was like, you tricked me. You could get pregnant this whole time. Like, I swear I couldn't. So we went to the doctor, and she told him, she's like, this is like a miracle from God. Like, this could be the only time she could ever get pregnant. So if like, she was like, if option B was to get rid of it, then you have to plan on never having a kid again. So obviously that wasn't gonna be the case for us, but it was just crazy to hear that she was like, this is a miracle. Cause I remember just looking at him when she said that, and his like scene go like, vroom. He's like, how am I that good? So that was like probably August, I would have to say. Maybe going into September, something around there. I can't remember. It was like such a blur. But after that, we kind of like got to the exception of it, you know, like we accepted it happening, and it's like been a full change. Like Liam has been so positive and supportive. God, sorry, like I literally have like my ear wants to pop and can't, so I keep hearing myself in my ear and it's driving me crazy. But no, Liam has been so supportive about it. I think he's more ready than I am because he's been around like nieces and nephews. He's changed diapers. Like I took care of Katie a little bit when I was 9 years old, so that's like my experience. So 21 years ago, I changed a diaper. So I've had a lot more breakdowns than he has because he's like all the time like, get your shit together, like you can't change this. Because I will be like crying like, I can't do this, I don't want to have a baby, I don't want to push it out, I don't want to be in pain. And he's like, well, it's too late now, so you just have to deal with it. But let me tell you, like, pregnancy is horrible. Like, obviously everyone's experience is different, but like whenever you talk to someone, I feel like they only tell you the good stuff to trick you into thinking pregnancy is amazing, to have these kids, when it's like literally like the worst time. Like, I'm sorry for anyone that I'm saying, like, that are getting offended by this, but it really sucks. Like, from like 6 weeks to 13 weeks, I was so sick every day. I couldn't eat. I would have chronic headaches from like 1 to 5 p.m. where I couldn't even see. And it was like every day for like a month and a half like that. And it was torture. Like not being able to eat or drink, and then people telling you you must eat and drink, and then I couldn't eat meat, and then they're like, you need to eat meat, and then my prenatals would make me sick, and it's like nothing would work. Everything would just make it worse, and it was just horrible. I will say though, after that 14th week, it got so much better. Like I stopped feeling sick and getting headaches, so that made me glad, because it's like, okay, at least I know I don't have like a brain tumor, and it's just coincidental that I'm also pregnant. But now I'm just an emotional wreck. Like every day there's something like that makes me just cry. Like yesterday, I was like reading articles about going to the hospital and them like forcing you and pressuring you into do things, and I like went outside crying. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to have a baby at a hospital anymore, because everything I read. My dog is so annoying. But yeah, pregnancy is hard. And like, I've never been such a wreck before. Oh my gosh, someone must be here. I've never been such an emotional wreck before. Oh my god, like literally every time I talk, they like, it's like they know. Someone's here. Well, I'm gonna go check. Okay, well, I don't know why they were going crazy. But like what I was saying is like, I've never been so emotional. Like everything just makes me so sad. I just want to cry. And I don't think Liam and I have ever fought as much as we do now. And it makes me so sad knowing that it's like because of like my crazy hormones. But he just doesn't get it. I'm sure no guys get it because they don't understand like waking up feeling like shit. And then being tired all day. And then having to pee a gajillion times. And then peeing your pants. And then like your hormones are just crazy and your mind's just like, what the fuck? But it's just so stressful. If you can't tell, today's been a bad day. I just can't wait for like everything to like recalibrate in my body so I'm not feeling like this anymore. Pregnancy is so hard. At least there's only 2 more months to go. But yeah, I did my glucose test today. So hopefully I passed. I have to do it again. The drink wasn't horrible for anyone that's asking. There's one plus. The drink's not horrible. But it still is never fun drawing blood. Like I swear the lady like ripped the thing out of my like poor little veins. It hurts so bad. I've never felt it hurt so much before afterwards, but I swear she wasn't looking. She cared more about my earrings. Oh man. But now I'm to the point where it's doctors twice a week or twice a month. So that's fun. I gotta watch a video about how the epidural works before I can sign it and say I want it. So I'm like, great, this is gonna be a scary video. But yeah, so there's my like pregnancy update so far. Like I know I'm so positive and happy on Facebook, but it can get really hard. And I just don't think people tell people about that, where it's like it really F's with you. Like you just can get so emotional over nothing. This is just like, everything is just so much all the time. Like, guys will never understand what it's like to get up every 2 hours to pee and then sneeze and pee their pants in public, or waking up more tired than it was when you went to sleep. Like, guys will never get it. Like, I wish they did. But I'm gonna be a crab for like 2 more months because I feel like I'm never gonna be able to sleep again. But yeah, so hopefully I didn't scare everyone off from wanting to have children one day. Could be worse, right? It's just like, be ready for like an emotional war with yourself and never eating normal again. But okay guys, so that was my vlog update. Sorry I got emotional, but I warned you. But yeah, here's to the next 10 weeks. Woo! All right, bye guys.